All right. My name
That's
is Juan.
from you, man.
Drew.
I'm Drew.
Jesse, your mic's on.
You're unmuted.
All right, welcome to Around the Bay Sports, everyone.
Sorry, man.
No, it's not. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's get into our first
You're
topic.
great, you're great, people.
Sorry, as you can tell, this is our first official live broadcast. A little nerves, little anxiety out there on my part. I apologize for that. But yes, let's try this again.
My name's Amon.
I'm Drew.
I'm Jack.
And we are
Around.
Duh.
Bay.
Sports. And I'm Jesse Hasso. Thank you for joining everybody on this Wednesday night, no matter what time zone you're in. Before we get into actual sports topics, I was thinking we could introduce ourselves and what sports has meant to our lives and what teams we follow for both. It could be any sport also. So I think I'll start with you, Drew.
Hello, guys. I'm Drew. I recently graduated from college, and I'm from Long Creek. And sports I've been listening a lot that meant a lot to me was basketball, baseball, football, and hockey. Those sports meant a lot to me growing up because I feel like I wouldn't have those competitive spirits in my life without those four sports. And I think that happened a lot to me. My favorite team of these sports, the 49ers for football, San Francisco Giants for baseball, Golden State Warriors for basketball, and San Jose Sharks for hockey. So that is my favorite team, and yeah, that's all I got.
All right, let's go to Jack now for his introduction.
Hey, everyone. I'm Jack, as you know. I've been playing sports. I was pretty much a kid. I've been watching them since I was a kid. I've probably watched them my entire life. So I've been a huge fan. I remember when I was growing up, I was a huge fan of the A's and the Giants in the mix also. I'm a big fan of the 49ers. Used to be Raiders until they became traders, so they decided to move to Vegas. Big Warriors fan since like 2006 during the We Believe era. And I'm just happy to be on the podcast and hope you all get to know me better, sports-wise.
All right, now Amon, your turn.
Yeah,
Tell the world who you are.
Yeah, my name's Amon. I've been in the sport for the Bay Area. That's our main topic. But other teams I follow as well is like the Bucks. I used to be an A's fan, but you know what happened. But now I'm starting to slowly become a Giants fan, following them. And I just hope you enjoy the show.
And again, my name is Jesse. Sports has been a huge part of my life. The roar of the crowd being in the stadiums from a young age, about 3 or 4, going to baseball games and Raider games. I probably was a bit too young to go to Raider games, but they were great. As you heard, for football, I'm a Raider fan. Baseball, I'm a Giants fan now. Used to be an A's fan. And for basketball, I'm a Warriors fan. Go Dubs. And for soccer or European people out there, for football, I'm a fan of Man City. So yeah, that's who we are as sports people. Now let's get into actual sports talks. Out of San Francisco yesterday, over the past weekend, the Giants made a splash and got made a huge trade for Rafael Devers. Jack, what were you doing when you found out about the news, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I remember when I heard about the news about Rafael Devers, I was at work during the time, and I was like, holy crap, they just got this dude, and they practically gave away pretty much couple prospects and like 2 pitchers, I think, but they weren't really doing that well. I heard the comparisons as if the Niners got Justin Jefferson. That's a prime example. Now with him on the Giants, I think the Giants can be big super weapons again. I mean, this guy Rafael Devers, he's top 50 in the MLB in batting average, top 15 in home runs, and he's also top 5 in RBIs across the MLB. So I think he's a great weapon, and Buster Posey is cooking with the Giants.
I'm on your thoughts of this.
Yeah,
big trade.
when I discovered this, I was coming back home from lunch, and I was watching the Giants Dodgers, and I just hear him talk about Posey, and I'm like, what happened? And they're saying about this guy Devers. And not gonna lie, for a moment I didn't know who he was, so I actually had to search it up. And I'm like, wait, this guy, for like pretty much, you know, a couple players and all. And I just like was curious, like, all right, who called who? Because it's crazy for Buster Posey just kicking off with a bang in his first year. I mean, he's known the team for so long, so he's just been wanting this just get the spark going with this team and for the future. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, for Devers, I went to his debut. He went 2 for 5, RBI double. He got hit in the 9th inning into Triple Valley. For the people that have been to Giants games, you know where that is. But yeah, I mean, he looked good. He looked strong. I mean, of course, a little nerves, new ballpark, different atmosphere. And yeah, it's crazy that we're just Devers, a Giant. Let's go.
All right, Drew, your thoughts of where you were and how you think that
the trade.
Yes.
The trade happened, how it happened. I was actually celebrating Father's Day with my pops, and I was about to give my dad his present for Father's Day, and I heard a ding off of my dad's iPad, and I looked for the notification, see what happens, and it turned out to be the Devers trade, and I was kind of shocked because, you know, it kind of reminded me of the Luka trade where you think that it's not, you know, real until someone else confirms it, and someone else confirmed it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I mean, we definitely need him because, as you guys know, the Giants been struggling on offense in terms of hitting, so I feel like having Rafael Devers on our team can help our offense for sure, and I think that it's gonna help us in the long run. So, but I think Buster Posey, like everyone said, Buster Posey's cooking. Even though I think Kershaw said that he always got that rivalry in him, even though Posey might not be playing right now, he still got the let's beat the Dodgers first, and then let's keep going after that. But yeah, didn't expect Buster Posey to do that big trade before, you know, the trade deadline before. So I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I was on vacation in LA. Actually, I wasn't at the game. I was just my cousin graduated from college, so I was just hanging out there, and then I get a notification that, well, actually, from Amon texting that Devers was traded. I think that he's going to be good. He's a good piece for the Giants. I guess my only question is, does this make them a contender? And I think for this one, I'll start with Amon.
Yeah, like it's definitely a big boost in odds, at least for the Giants. I mean, there might be a little missing pieces just from going to last game. They're still in the order. I know Chapman's hurt. Once he gets back, we'll probably really see this offense roll. But there's still some little miss. Just need some more of like even Devers' ability or something within that to really stack this lineup to be prepared for the postseason. But you know, the Giants, they're already at 40+ wins, so definitely on pace for a wild card. We'll see where they go. But yeah, I mean, I just think for Devers, it's definitely some missing piece it needs. Still some few pieces, but this team is, you know, it's rocking.
All right, Jack, you mentioned that you think that this kind of makes them contenders. Do you think they'll win a World Series, or where do you see this going for them this season?
Well, I think the biggest important thing you got to think about is how you're going to get past the Mets and the Dodgers, because those are the 2 biggest contenders in the National League. Because the Giants, after this trade, I would say are the third best team. And the Mets, they're ridiculously good offensively and defensively. And the same thing for the Dodgers. The Dodgers have all of these all-stars on the team. I think the Giants should make another move for a pitcher, or just another pitcher, or you could go for a reliever also. But if the Giants can get another big name before the deadline, I think the Giants could be better than both those two teams.
And I guess, Drew, who do you think that big name could be at the deadline? Who could become available?
I heard that. I don't know. I feel like a lot of big names are like really like you feel like all those big names go to like teams like the Dodgers, for example. Like I think Dodgers trying to go for a pitcher for Marlins, so I think they're trying to do that. But I think that the Giants should also go for a second baseman because I feel like Tyler Fitzgerald has kind of been underperforming at some point. So I feel like getting like a big name for a second base and use Fitzgerald as a utility can help us instead of having an unperformed Fitzgerald for second base. I feel like we need a second baseman, like a Devers type of ability. So I think we need that for sure.
Yeah, totally. I think. Sorry. I thought you were done.
Nah, in order to beat the Dodgers and the Mets.
I still think that they're a year away. I still think that they need to go through one more free agent period before they can legitimately call themselves contenders in the.
Probably, but I feel like you still think about the odds, at least for this year. It doesn't have to be a World Series type run, but at least something solid. Maybe could be a first round exit, but a close battle. Could be maybe at least a second rounder. Depends what follows on the Mets or the Dodgers if we end up meeting them.
Yeah, I think this ends in the wild card round before the ALDS. I think that this will be a quick exit this year, and then next year they come back with. I think they'll finally get free agents this coming off season, and then they'll be able to compete more, maybe for the ALCS or I'm sorry, NLCS.
Well,
Sorry, that's my A's brain still going there.
Like another thing I did found out was that Poggi did say I forgot the player's name, but there's a top prospect of this organization that saying with this trade is not going to hold him back to stay in AAA. He might be called up. Would be this year or next year. Who knows? I forgot the prospect's name, but if you...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's a first baseman, and Devers will be moving to first base for a while, but...
Probably we won't probably see that full potential next year, unless something drastic happens. We'll see, but yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else, any other baseball news? Well, I guess another topic for baseball before we move on to another sport is that Ohtani returned to the mound on Monday night. He pitched one inning, gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run. How do you guys feel about the greatest baseball player alive returning back to the mound? Jack, I'll start with you.
Did you just say greatest baseball player to ever exist?
I said alive. I said the greatest baseball player alive.
Yeah, alive. We're not going there.
Kind of hard to. I personally wouldn't say that. I don't give a damn how good Ohtani is, but
okay.
I mean,
okay. Give me.
He did all right, I guess.
Can you before we get into this? Can you give me the greatest pitcher of all time, or who you think the greatest pitcher is right now, playing?
Well, to ever play the game, or the one that's
currently.
Right now, currently.
Well, that's a tough question because Ohtani is he's still pretty young, but then you got old heads like Justin Verlander, who was one of the most unstoppable pitchers in the game. There's also guys like DeGrom or Max Scherzer. Those are prime examples.
What's their batting average?
Okay, but I mean, this is a guy who hasn't done anything like this since Babe Ruth.
Yes, that's why I say he is the best baseball player alive right now.
Okay, but he hasn't pitched in 2 years. When
he has pitched, his numbers, he was a he was third in Cy Young voting, and he was second in at the time AL MVP when he was with the Angels because of his bat. So he is not just dominant as a pitcher; he's dominant as a hitter as well.
I would say he's more dominant as a hitter more than as a pitcher.
I mean,
I hear you on that.
we'll just see about this Tommy John surgery. I'm not sure how it affects pitchers long term entirely. I mean, for Otani, it could be different. Different effect. Who knows? Might actually make him stronger.
Well, this is his second Tommy John already.
Is
Because he had one back in 2018. Took about 2 years until he was.
No, this might
back
affect
to form.
him because he only did 2. You didn't get a strikeout. I know he's probably just the elbows warming up a little bit.
Well,
At least
that's
recover.
also because of bad officiating, though. Because there's one where they didn't give him the call, and then there was another one where somebody check swing where he definitely went around.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see the game, but I'm just knowing about Tommy John.
And I think it's interesting how they're doing their rehab assignment or his rehab assignment. Like usually they would send him down to AAA or AA for like a month or so for like to get used to pitching again. But I kind of like that they're having him do it in the major leagues since his bat is so important to their team, and shutting him down for a month or so could damage his timing in the big leagues. So, Drew, what do you think of this? Of Otani and his return to the mound?
I think it's good for baseball that there's another two-way guy, but the Dodgers trying to be cautious with him. Trying to make sure he get back to the groove. Yeah, he only pitched an inning and stuff, but they're trying to be cautious with him. Even though his bats are, like Jesse said, are really pointing to their offense. So I think that make sure that him getting used to the motion of major leagues can help him, not just for the remainder of the season, but like hopefully it can help him next year for sure. Even though all the starting pitcher are pretty injured.
Thank you, Drew. You might want to refresh real quick because we can hear you, but your screen is frozen. Oh, yeah, he's refreshing right now. So I think we can move. Oh, he's back. Hang on. Sorry, what were you saying, Drew? We caught the end of everything. We just couldn't see you.
Oh, yeah, it's good for baseball. Him coming back. Trying to be cautious with him. Even though he only pitched an inning and 20 pitches. Not that bad, but try to be cautious. Even though his bats are pretty important to this team, and I think that even though that most of the starting pitcher for the Dodgers are in the IL, but it's good to see him pitch.
It's strange how the Dodgers always need pitching. Like their pitchers always get hurt, like towards the beginning of the season.
Wait, Snell, is he hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't heard his name in a while.
Season ending?
No, it's like 60 days.
Oh, so he's not going to be here until like
But when did he get hurt?
I think beginning. So
Sorry, maybe almost. He'll probably be ready for the postseason.
I don't know why my camera was frozen.
Return. Well, remember he got hurt last year with the Giants. And look at how he came out the second half of the season. He's always been a second half pitcher.
Threw that no hitter for us.
Yep. But all right, I think we can move topics now. We're going to move to hockey, and the Stanley Cup final between. I don't know much about this, so
Florida Panthers and Edmonton Oilers.
Yes, I'll let Aman take the lead on this one.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sad sight for Edmonton. Every time, in case you don't know, forgot to mention, I do also follow hockey a little bit, and mainly just the Stanley Cup, because just seeing the competitiveness is quite out of this world. But yeah, it just sucks. Like 2 in a row to the same team, so it's almost like the Chiefs and the Eagles type scenario, because it's 2 strikes, you're out. Who knows what the future holds especially for their star player, McDavid. But yeah, it's just sad because I don't know what the future really is now. Should they trade him? to maybe get some, maybe at least back out a little bit, maybe go contend, but maybe not fully. I don't know whatever their thinking is. I know clearly like the GM or the CEO, whoever runs it, they like the guy. McDavid's a bit of, I guess he might be a little of a loyalist. I'm not sure. Kind of like how Giannis is, but yeah, it's sad. Like I feel bad. I just won't root for any Canadian team because that hasn't happened so far in like 32 years. And the team that did it was the team that was in the Stanley Cup against Washington, and they were one and done. They've had a good season, but I mean I sometimes have noticed seeing Canadian teams making it pretty close to like that mark, but just can't close it out when they have a clash with the U.S. I guess. So yeah, sad reality for Edmonton. But I hope they can find a way to work their way back. But it's like 2 strikes, it might be out. Who knows? But it's hockey. So.
Jack, what is your reaction to the Stanley Cup Finals?
I gotta tell you, this team, the Oilers, and if they just keep their roster like how it is and everything, it'll remind me of the 90s Bills when they made it to all those Super Bowls and didn't win a damn thing. But as for the Oilers, I'm very disappointed because you got best player in the league at Connor McDavid, who's like one above all. He's by far the best guy. And you are the team from Canada, Edmonton Oilers. This is your guys' sport. I mean, you guys haven't won since not them, but no Canadian team has won since 1993, and that was the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah. But you guys, on the other hand, choked twice. And last year you went to 7 games. This time you get to 6, and you get your ass handed to you.
Like that game, like Game 6 was just like Game 5. They needed that because the way they played. I mean, I don't know what the coaches was. I have theories he might have been, but it's just like when you like the Panthers are. I don't know a lot, but seeing how the Panthers play, they really like to close it out quick when they get the advantage. And that game at home, Canada. I mean, you've seen their national anthem. I mean, that country, man. They, as Jack said, they love the sport.
They have like real pride.
Yeah, like, real pride.
And especially it's because it's their sport. But these guys, the Oilers, they gave up 6 goals in the first period of Game 4 and Game 5. You give up that combination 2 games in first periods of both games. They played unacceptable, and to lose your last game 5-1. So I'm not gonna say that they didn't put any effort because God knows
it's hockey. It's like you got to bring the competitiveness, or this is what happens. I mean,
but still losing 5-1.
Yeah, that's just.
Like I was literally at work, and Amon texted me. I hope the Oilers can come back, but they were down 3-0. But I was saying to myself, they're not going to come back from this. It's hard to come back when you're shut out. When you're getting shut out on the road, it's impossible to come back. I don't care how much money you get paid. I don't care if you're a professional. I don't care if you're a veteran or the greatest of all time. It's really hard to come back from those situations. And the way the Oilers finished off is just unacceptable. Now, according to what I saw when I did some research earlier, according to Yahoo Sports, it was a pretty credible news source.
Yes.
These guys are saying that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to go after Connor McDavid. So he might be in Canada, and the Toronto Maple Leafs might finally get a championship.
Yeah, because Toronto, they've been having some runs of their own, and they just need I think they just have one piece. I don't know who their star player is, but it's like if David finally decides to leave and joins Toronto, Toronto, this might be your best shot.
Yeah,
but it's the NHL. Who knows?
Toronto had a very solid team this year. They're always their usual thing is they choke in the playoffs almost every single year. But they have a still very solid team. They have, I believe, his name's Austin Matthews. He's one of the probably the best American hockey player in the entire NHL. So if he goes there, you can create that new duo, and well, Maple Leafs can win it maybe.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I just feel like, 32 years. It's like if I just need like Canada at least get one, because unless it's just I know this might as well make NHL the American League. Might as well just change the title.
Oh, hang on a sec. Austin Matthews, guess where he's from? Because you're not going to guess where he's from.
I don't know. Say,
He's from San Ramon, California.
Wow.
Wow.
There you go,
Kid. Like, man, how can you not go? I mean, obviously Connor McDavid's not going to know what San Ramon, California is, but like as someone who's lived there for 20 years, I wouldn't pass that up if I was playing hockey. Like, dude, like top player from the Bay is a Bay Area kid. Like that's
everyone's from the Bay. Well, not everyone, but we do get some great athletes.
I was wondering if we could get Drew's take on this for a second. Also,
man, Edmonton, you have home. I guess
home ice, but yeah,
home ice.
They have home court, not home court, but like they have home.
Yeah.
They got home advantage the
Home
first
ice.
2 games, right? And I don't know. I feel like after game 2, they kind of let that. After game 2, I think that I kind of noticed that Panthers they're probably gonna close it out. 5 or 6 for sure, because that's what Florida Panthers do. They close them out, and yeah, Connor McDavid, he got all those accolades and stuff, but like the real question is when we're gonna see him get a ring, or when will Justin Bieber stop going to Maple Leafs games? I don't know, like stuff like that. Like I don't know. I feel like if Maple Leafs wants to get Connor McDavid, I agree with Jack. Like if Maple Leafs gets Connor McDavid, and then they have a solid squad. Obviously they're known for choking. But like Justin Bieber, stop going to games, please. Like let them play their games. Don't choke for them, please. That's all I gotta ask.
sorry, I don't even know why Justin Bieber is being.
Well, he's a big Maple Leafs fan, so
Hey,
he's from,
Canadian?
He is Canadian, but still.
but still, yeah. But yeah, I think he has all the accolades. Connor McDavid. I don't know what's happening the last 2 years, but that stuff that's happened this year didn't. The stuff that he did this year, I guess, didn't work. From last year, didn't work this year. So, but hopefully, I can see him get a ring in my time.
All right, I think that's it for the NHL. I think we can move to the NBA now. First, with the NBA Finals, with OKC leading the series 3-2. Do you think they close it out tomorrow? I'll start with you, Jack.
I believe OKC is going to finish it off tomorrow, and everybody's going to say this is one of the more interesting NBA playoffs in a long time. The thing about the Thunder is they're actually the youngest average age team across the entire league. Their average age is 24 years old. That's that's a year younger than me. It's absolutely insane. With SGA is going to get Finals MVP. They're going to finish it off in Indiana. Tyrese Halliburton is going to have an okay game, but he's not going to do too much. That's my prediction. It's going to be over tomorrow. Look forward to free agency. Hopefully the Warriors can do something in the offseason.
Do you think they're the next dynasty, the OKC Thunder?
I don't think so. They got a pretty good team, but the NBA can always learn to adapt, and players do tend to get older. Players move around. Like, for example, if we're still waiting on if Giannis is going to stay or not, rumors are he's going to stay. Rumors are he's going to leave. I keep hearing he might go to Toronto. It's just bouncing all over the place. So I don't immediately think they're the next dynasty, but only time is going to tell, really.
Maman, what do you think of this NBA Finals?
Yeah, I mean, it probably will be closed out, but that Indiana crowd, or practically like the OKC crowd, both their fan bases is pretty much in sync when it comes to competition. But depending on Halliburton's condition, if he plays, knowing him, I think they will probably force this. They'll probably will force 7 and see where it goes. But if not, yeah, probably the Thunder will just close this out. I don't know. As for the dynasty, the way this NBA is, ever since the Nuggets won, no one since the Nuggets when they last win, no team, nothing. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
My thoughts here. So since there we go. Since the Warriors in 2022, when they win, the teams after that, like the Nuggets, never repeated because the way this NBA is and the way they build, as Jack's saying or Jesse, like the way they adapt to the change to try. It's like almost trying to get everyone at least a solid chance to win at this point. The way we've been seeing the league, it's so athletic, so competitive. Yes, the Thunder does have the team, but this is this day and age of the NBA. It everyone can pretty much win, even though the teams are in rebuild. Probably eventually maybe get a win, but nowadays, whoever wins, there's always a new one.
And I don't exactly like that. Teams that are constantly losing, not even trying, are almost rewarded for not trying with draft picks and whatever. Look at what happened in this last draft lottery.
Yeah.
With Dallas. They get the number 1 overall pick after trading away their best player in Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I think
how should they be rewarded for that?
Well, just I don't know. It's just maybe it's just a sign. Like teams that are trying to build like a very young squad. I feel like nowadays don't do that. You at least just try to build. Because for the Thunder, remember, they rebuild quicker than usually an average team when they want to be in the rebuilding like archetype just to get all these capital. And look, now they're in the finals. SCJ just won MVP. Props to him. I wish Giannis, or Jokic, but SGA, the way he plays, you can't go anything wrong with that. But I just feel like it's just a sign, like for any NBA team, you just got to at least to compete, try to get in the play-in, just at least have some sort of spark in your organization, because sooner or later you're probably not even. Sooner or later, if you're going to stick with that, you're probably not going to win anytime soon. So, yeah, I think it's just a sign. Sure, Silver just helping the Mavs out just because of the trade. Who knows? I mean, I've seen funny videos about it.
I totally agree with this comment, by the way. Get rid of the NBA lottery.
Yeah. Can I respond?
Yes.
The NBA, in my honest opinion, should do it literally how the NFL does it.
Yeah.
Like, you get the worst team, crappy teams like Utah Jazz, Washington Wizards, or Hornets, or any of those teams. Who was the worst team in the NBA this year? I don't really know it off.
I think it's between the Jazz or the Wizards.
I'm gonna assume those probably the Wizards. Like the Wizards, they should have gone the first pick without a doubt because they were so horrible. So I agree with Steve's take.
Yeah, it's like they should just do maybe like the NFL, or do I don't know, like a weight draw or something. They gotta change it, or just take it out and just go based on the record.
Yeah, because when I heard about Dallas and how they got the first pick, I was genuinely confused because I don't know if there was like a little gift here or bribe there. Obviously, there wasn't, but.
After this, I could never trust a draft lottery again.
It's in my opinion,
somehow.
It was it was really sketchy.
Like, just when was the last time we actually had a good lottery?
I've never seen a good lottery.
Or at least
there's not really been a good lottery.
Or not a good lottery, but at least okay, because that team was bad, so of course they got at least a top 5 pick.
Like all the lotteries don't really make sense. Like the Wizards.
I think the year that it was realistic was when the Warriors got Wiseman, because I'm like, that seems fair. At least the three worst teams.
God, when the Warriors did that, it was like, God, I'm still frustrated about that. It's like drafting.
That was just their fault. That wasn't the draft lottery's fault.
Yeah, I know, but still, Could have drafted like LaMelo Ball instead. James Wiseman, I don't know if he's in the league anymore.
He still is. He's just injured right now, out for the season.
Threat by a threat. He might literally turn into the next Greg Oden.
Sorry, let's get your take on
No
this.
disrespect to Greg Oden, but continue.
Let's get your take on first the NBA Finals and just if you think that the Thunder are the next dynasty of the NBA.
Before I say my answer, Jesse, Amon, and I witnessed Game 1, how Game 1 turned out, right?
Yes.
Tyrese, did his magic,
Yeah.
I only thought Indiana was going to win, after that. But, in my head, I knew OKC was going to come back and, regroup themselves, I think the Thunder are going to shut that. I think they're close out tomorrow. Interesting fact, Indiana, when they lose, they don't score. When they win, they have to score over 110 points. Over 110 points when they win.
I mean, they have done it before. Have they?
No, they never lost when they score over 110. Yeah, but I think they're closer out. Even though Indiana has a really good fans, great atmosphere, great environment. I don't know. After what I saw from Tyrese Halliburton, garbage. By the way, I don't care you're injured or not, but still, you can't have a 4-point game, especially in the biggest stage of your career, And we'll see how he does tomorrow. What is his status for tomorrow? But I think that Dunn's gonna close it out. Shea is gonna do his thing, and J Dub is gonna do his. J Dub had a great game in Game 5 for 40 points. I think he's gonna do it. Not the same performance from Game 5, but he's probably do a 2-way force. He might get 25, probably get 10. I don't know, but he's gonna do his thing. But
let's just speaking just the SG and Halliburton. I don't know. I feel like I want to at least scratch the top of the face of the NBA because as soon Curry, LeBron, Durant, whenever they decide to hung up their future Hall of Fame careers, I just think in the playoffs at least, if I just felt like maybe they should be at least we got Luka and Edwards, Tatum, Tatum's hurt, but seeing him play. But I feel like maybe those two could be the at least next competitors because still we have to see who's going to be carrying at least the next generation of players. I'm just curious what you guys' takes are. If you at least have a favor, or at least do you feel like maybe those two should be up there as well?
They're definitely up there as rising stars. If one of them wins the NBA championship, I think that gives them the edge and puts them more into the conversation. But for me, the face of the NBA once LeBron and Steph retire is going to be Luka Doncic. I think he's one of the greatest athletes. Not the greatest player, just a great athlete and a great player. And I think this leads into our next topic perfectly, so I'll save the rest of my answer for the end. What do you think of that, though, Drew? Of the new face of the leagues?
I like it. They're, they show us two different generations. And they bring that that dog mentality. And they don't discourage from media or anything. All they care about is hooping, and I think, like you said, I think SGA is definitely a current face. The stuff he's doing right now, MVP, confident MVP, and potentially a Finals MVP for tomorrow. So I think that I feel like he's he's up there with Luka and Tatum and Edwards. So I think that he's up there with them.
Can I say something also?
Yes, go ahead, Jack. Stage is all yours.
I believe that SGA is definitely the future of this league. He's a great ball player. He's in OKC, but he's averages over 30 a game, and he goes to the free throw line all the time. So he's kind of a foul baiter, in my honest opinion. It's kind of like what James Harden would do in the late 2010s. I believe Anthony Edwards is going to be another big name. I think he'll be probably the biggest trash talker in the league.
You think he'll take the Draymond Green role?
Yeah, I think so. Because I remember when he played against guys like KD and LeBron, he would always talk smack to them almost every single time.
And he would back it up too.
He'd back it up every single game because, I mean, it's the hell of a ball player. So Anthony Edwards, SGA, to me are the two big futures. Same with Jason Tatum, depending on how he recovers.
Yeah.
I hope he gets the fast recovery. He's a hell of a ball player. He's the face of the Celtics. Him and Jaylen Brown are arguably one of the best duos in the NBA. So that's my opinion. Yeah.
Like, I just feel like a lot of people have Halliburton as like the most hated player, but now you think since he always backs, since people have been hating on him and he backs it up, I just feel like he also has a strong. He might have at least strong resume, at least in that sort of category for that.
Yeah. The thing about him is though, like the NBA players always do this review, and they always say that Tyrese Halliburton was the most overrated player in the entire NBA, and look where he is now.
I mean, if he gives Indiana, which is literally like state of basketball, really, as some people might say. I don't know. This is why I want to ask this question, because it's like, what's great about this finals is really that story, because whoever wins has something out of the resume. But we see them how they play, so it's just like it'd be a great. I feel like those two and just themselves should at least be up there.
All right. I think we should talk about the breaking news of the day, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers being sold for $10 billion. Drew, what is your takeaway on this?
Oh my god. I saw it, my friend showed me the post, and I was shocked because usually teams like the Lakers, for example, you don't expect them to sell the team, you know. I mean, we saw the Boston Celtics sell the team for like $6 million. I mean, $6 billion, but you know, you never know. Like a really good market team like the Lakers, you know, a well-known market team, you wouldn't expect them to sell the team, right? But you know. But $10 billion is crazy, man. And they're selling to the guy who worked for the Dodgers too. So it's kind of insane. And you know, I just hope that the Buss family do well in their lives. But yeah, it's crazy that they bought the Lakers in 1979 for $67.5 million and it sold for $10 billion. What a
That's
great investment!
Hell of a return.
It's like Dan Snyder when he saw the Commanders and like, I don't know, like quadruple the amount or something.
I do think it's interesting that now 4 teams have been sold and bought within the last 2 years. It started with the Suns, and then
Commanders.
We're talking about. Sorry, this is basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah, I'm not throwing the Snyder thing. It's just just throw that out there of how much he sold his.
Yeah, starting with the Suns, and then Dallas, and with Mark Cuban, and you saw how that played out. He was even surprised by the Luka Doncic trade, and then we have the Boston Celtics being sold, and now the Lakers. Do you think it's a bad sign that NBA owners are looking to get out of the NBA business and sell their majority stakes of teams? Like the NBA isn't doing as good as it once was. And I'll start with you, Jack.
Honestly, I think it's good for business. It always means more money, and honestly, I think just teams just try to get more money so they can try to get better players, better recruiting. Because when this news popped up, according to ESPN sources, Luka was told like at the very last second, and now with the Lakers, they're actually now the highest valued franchise in sports history. So that's saying a lot from this deal.
Do you think the Lakers are going to try to do what the Mavs did and move Luka from their team? Or do you think this is Luka's team?
I believe this.
retire.
I believe this is Luka's team. I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, they just got him, so what's the point of just getting someone and you just trade him away like, a season later? It would make zero sense. So I believe Luka is there to stay, and yeah, that's his home.
All right, Aman, what do you think of this?
Like, I was just thinking, what if this backfires? Because, like, the Suns, new man, new owner, and then, the Suns are like firing every coach every year at this point, and you see how that team has been lately. It's a roster, it's management. They blame the coach. We can hold that for another topic.
Sorry, can I touch on this topic real quick? I actually like the Suns' new owner and what he has done with the team. He is
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to pay, but I just felt like he literally fired like every coach. Either one that don't make the playoffs, one and go to the playoffs, lose in the first round, find someone else.
I could understand that though. Like when you have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker on your team, you're expected to make a deep run in the playoffs every year, and if they don't, a majority of that is on coaching. But like what I was saying about the Suns owner, I do like what he's done for the team since he's bought it. He lowered the concession stands when you go to the game, and for fans that can't afford to watch it on TV, he literally gave them antennas and put it on local TV so they can watch it. So he is doing it. When you see corporate greed from other owners, you see this owner truly cares about the Phoenix Suns and their fans.
All right, so yeah, that's much appreciated. But yeah, as for the Lakers selling it for that type of cash, we'll just see what happens, because sometimes you wonder if it does backfire, will the Lakers win another title? At least try to maybe catch the Celtics before any other team maybe will slowly make the rise. Like the Spurs, they've had their reign since early 2000s with Tim Duncan and all that. So it's like, yeah, we'll just see. But yeah, it's definitely a shocker for sure. But we'll see in the near future who they sign, and yeah.
All right, yeah, thank you. Just before we sign off here, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody that joined tonight and everybody in the chat, especially Mercedes, Steve, Ariana, and Liz Love. Thank you guys. You are first official chatters, commenters of Around the Base Sports.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Without you, this show would not be possible. So thank you for stopping in. Before we go, also Juan Jones in the chat, everybody.
Hey.
Before we go, is there any final words that we have about anything?
Not off the top of my head, sports related to throw out there. You guys, anything?
Well, I just want to say quick shout out to everybody that joined. Thank you to all of you. We're going to try to hopefully get more people on this, and we're going to be talking about more stuff in the coming days. And we look forward to saying more in the future.
Yes, and please join us Friday. Aman has prior engagements, so it'll be me, Jack, and Drew. Please tune in Friday, 7 p.m. And thank you for watching Around the Base Sports. We'll see you next time. And again, please like and subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, people.